The Middle Ages, often dismissed as a dark age, were anything but. It was an era of innovation in warfare, of castles and knights, and of course of terrifying weapons. In this series, we're going to look at 10 of the most fearsome, the most effective, and yes, the most brutal weapons of the Middle Ages.
Chapter 4. The Battle Axe, a weapon for the ages. Few weapons have stood the test of time quite like the battle axe. From the ancient battlefields of antiquity to the forests of the medieval world, the axe has been a constant companion of warriors for millennia. The axe is a simple, brutal, and undeniably effective tool of war. In its simplest form, the battle axe consisted of a heavy iron or steel head hafted onto a wooden shaft. But don't let that simplicity fool you. The battle axe was a versatile weapon capable of delivering both chopping and thrusting blows. It could cleave through shields, break bones, and send enemy soldiers running for their lives. Unlike swords, which required specialized smithing techniques and materials, axes could be produced relatively cheaply and easily. This made them the weapon of choice for peasant levies, conscripted soldiers, and anyone who couldn't afford the luxury of a finely crafted sword.
Chapter 5. The Mace, delivering a devastating message. While swords might be elegant and axes practical, there's something to be said for a weapon that simply gets the job done, and when it came to getting the job done on the medieval battlefield, few weapons were as brutally effective as the mace. This wasn't a weapon for the faint of heart. It was a tool of destruction, designed to crush bones, cave in helmets, and leave a lasting impression, or rather, a lasting dent, on your enemies. The mace, in its purest form, was a simple weapon. A heavy head, often made of iron or steel, studded with flanges or spikes, mounted on the end of a wooden or metal shaft. On the battlefields of the medieval world, the mace became the weapon of choice for knights and foot soldiers alike. Prized for its ability to deliver a decisive blow against even the most heavily armored opponents. Swords might get stuck in shields or glance off angled armor, but the mace? The mace didn't care about your fancy armor. It went straight through, delivering a shockwave of force that could be felt through even the thickest plate.
Chapter 6. The halberd reaching new heights of lethality. The halberd, a weapon that combined the reach of a spear, the cutting power of an axe, and the hooking ability of a billhook. It was a true hybrid weapon, a testament to the ingenuity of medieval weaponsmiths who seemed determined to cram as many deadly features into a single weapon as possible. And on the battlefields of the late medieval period, the halberd reigned supreme. Imagine, if you will, a chaotic melee, a swirling mass of bodies and steel where every inch of ground is contested. Now picture yourself armed with a halberd, its imposing length allowing you to strike at enemies from well beyond the range of their swords and axes. You could thrust with the spear point, hack with the axe blade, or hook and pull enemies off balance with the backspike. The halberd was a multi-tool of mayhem, equally adept at dispatching individual foes or disrupting enemy formations. The halberd's versatility made it the weapon of choice for a wide range of soldiers, from peasant levies to professional mercenaries.
Chapter 7. The Flail, unpredictable and unforgiving. The flail. Just the name conjures up images of chaotic battlefields, of weapons whipping through the air with unpredictable fury. It's a weapon that seems to defy logic, a brutal marriage of simplicity and savagery. And yet, on the battlefields of the medieval world, the flail found its niche, terrifying enemies with its unpredictable movements and bone-crushing power. At its core, the flail was a simple weapon, consisting of a heavy striking head attached to a handle by a chain or flexible rope. This deceptively simple design gave the flail a unique and unsettling advantage: unpredictability. Unlike other weapons with fixed heads, the flail's head could move independently of the handle, swinging freely and making it incredibly difficult for opponents to predict its trajectory. This unpredictability made the flail a psychological weapon as much as a physical one.
When it came to siege warfare in the Middle Ages, there was one weapon that stood head and shoulders above the rest: the mighty trebuchet. This wasn't just a weapon, it was a masterpiece of medieval engineering, a testament to human ingenuity and our boundless capacity for destruction. The trebuchet was capable of hurling massive projectiles over vast distances, reducing castle walls to rubble and striking fear into the hearts of defenders. Picture this, a towering wooden frame, dwarfing the men who built it, its long arm reaching toward the heavens like the arm of a giant. At the end of that arm, a massive sling, holding a projectile of unimaginable weight. And then, with a deafening crack and a shuddering release of tension, the projectile is launched skyward, tracing a graceful arc through the air before crashing down upon its target with earth-shattering force.
Some weapons are elegant, some are sophisticated, and some are just plain brutal. The Morning Star, my friends, falls squarely into the brutally effective category. This wasn't a weapon for fencing masters or noble knights. This was a weapon for inflicting maximum damage, for crushing bones, and for sending a very clear message. Get out of my way or suffer the consequences. Imagine, if you will, a spiked ball of iron, studded with fearsome points, each one eager to taste flesh and bone. Now attach that spiked ball to a sturdy wooden shaft via a chain or sturdy rope, and you've got yourself a Morning Star. It's a weapon that looks like it was designed by someone who spent a little too much time thinking about creative ways to inflict pain, and inflict pain it did. On the battlefields of the medieval world, the Morning Star earned a fearsome reputation for its brutality.
In the realm of ranged weaponry, the arbalist stands as a testament to medieval ingenuity, a weapon that harnessed cutting-edge technology to deliver unparalleled power and precision. This wasn't your average crossbow, this was a weapon for seasoned professionals, a tool of war capable of piercing the thickest armor and changing the course of battles. Picture this, a crossbow so massive, so powerful, that it required a windlass or crane quin to cock, its thick prod capable of launching heavy bolts with incredible force. The arbalist was a weapon designed for maximum penetration, capable of punching through chainmail, plate armor, and even stone walls. Unlike its smaller, more common cousin, the crossbow, the arbalist was a specialized weapon, favored by elite troops and mercenaries. Its power and accuracy made it a formidable weapon on the battlefield, capable of taking down heavily armored knights from afar, or suppressing enemy troops with deadly precision.
From the simplicity of the warhammer to the mechanical sophistication of the trebuchet, these weapons represent a diverse and deadly tapestry of medieval warfare. If you enjoyed this foray into the brutal world of medieval weaponry, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more explorations of history's most fascinating and fearsome topics. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the spirit of history alive.